Happy Wednesday. We're halfway through the week here for another exciting edition of Tommy Maroon Sports Show right here on WCTV, which I hope you watch. I hope you enjoy. I really hope you got a kick out of this episode. Of course, we have quite a lot of things to talk about. We're not talking about 3 topics. We're not talking about 4 topics either. We're talking about 5 topics. That's right, 5 topics today. Yes, that's a record for my show, I know. But anyways, let's start with the Cleveland Indians. Cleveland Indians, here are the team leaders heading into yesterday, once again, August 25th, not today, but rather yesterday, excuse me about that. Ramil Reyes leads us with the average, 282. He also leads us with home runs with 6, and it's tied with Jose Ramirez for RBIs with 18 RBIs. And for strikeouts and ERA, the team leader is Shane Bieber. He had 65 strikeouts heading into yesterday and a 1.11 ERA. And the leader in saves is Brad Hand. Brad Hand had 7 saves. He recorded the 8th one with that win last night. And speaking of games that the Cleveland Indians have played, let's look at some of the series recaps. Cleveland Indians against the Pittsburgh Pirates. We swept the Pirates 3-9. Carlos Santana had a 3-run bomb in both games 1 and game 2. And game 1 was a home run, the 10th inning. And Domingo Santana also had bases scoring double in game 2, while Shane Bieber did Shane Bieber things. 6 shutout innings in game 3. What else do you expect out of good old Shane Bieber? Then the Indians played the Tigers, and the Tigers won that series 2-1. And they won their first game against the Indians since April of 2019. Yes, it's been that long. It took them 20 times. They won games 1 and game 2. Domingo Santana, another bases scoring double, was back in the second game. And Jorge Bonifacio had a 2-run home run in game 3. There was Gregory Polanco hitting a ball that ended up in the wire. So for the series so far, the Indians lost the first game, I believe, 3-2, thanks to a Nelson Cruz and Mitch Garver home run in game 1, I believe. Then game 2 was last night, in which Francisco Lindor hit a go-ahead 2-run bomb, which gave us the lead. And a 4-2 win. Shane Bieber was pitching, and Shane Bieber did Shane Bieber things. And for those that didn't see last night, but Lucas Giolito of the Chicago White Sox no-hit the Pittsburgh Pirates. And in a 60-game season, I guess there will be a no-hitter this year. He only allowed 1 walk, I believe, it was a former Cleveland Indian, Eric Gonzalez. But yes, no-hitter by Lucas Giolito. Eric Gonzalez, who was also the last batter, had a sharp line drive to right, which Adam Engel made a good running catch. It was hit well. I thought it was going to be a base hit, but nope. Giolito becomes the 19th White Sox player in team history to have a no-hitter. Last one was Philip Humber, won 16 career games. I was still able to throw a perfect game against the Seattle Mariners, and the Mariners would also throw 2 no-hitters that year. One would be a combined no-hitter, and of course the famous King Felix Hernandez perfect game. Of course, King Felix decided to sit this season out in Atlanta due to COVID concerns. But anyways, the NBA playoffs. There have been 0 positive COVID tests in the NBA right now because, well, that's what happens when you're in a bubble. Lakers against the Trailblazers. Lakers up ahead in the series 3-1. Portland won game 1, 100-93. LeBron put up 38 points and 12 rebounds in game 3. And then game 4, he had 30 points and 10 assists. So, yes, LeBron looking good there. Lakers will be playing tonight, I believe. And the Rockets against the OKC Thunder. And the Thunder, after losing the first 2 games in the series, they won the next 2 games. And, of course, this series is tied at 2 games apiece. Anyways, OKC in this game right here, they outscored Houston 15-3 in overtime. Well, Dennis Schroeder put up 30 points, all off the bench during Game 4. So it's been a good series right there. And the Denver Nuggets played the Utah Jazz as well. And Denver won last night. However, they're down 3-2 against Utah Jazz. And Denver won the first game as well, 135-125. Donovan Mitchell had 57 points in Game 1, 51 in Game 4. Jamal Murray had, 42 points last night. And then there was a Clippers-Mavericks series. The Clippers are up 3-2, but in Game 4, look at that. Luka Doncic hit a big buzzer beater as the clock expired during Game 4 to give Dallas the victory. Now, Luka scored 28 in Game 2 as well. Kawhi had 35 for the Clippers in Game 3. But man, oh man, that was a crazy buzzer beater. It was from way back, and it ended up going in. Absolutely unbelievable. And there's Lucas celebrating with his teammates after that crazy buzzer beater. Then the Bucks against the Magic. And the Bucks up ahead 3-1. Milwaukee fell to the Magic in Game 1, 122-110. But then Giannis had 35 points and 11 rebounds for Milwaukee in Game 3. And then 31 points and 15 rebounds in Game 4. Giannis won Defensive Player of the Year, by the way, this year. I was looking to win MVP as well. We are still yet to see who will win it. Pacers against the Heat, and the Heat swept the Pacers 4-9. Jimmy Butler had 28 points in Game 1. 4 Heat players had 20-plus points in Game 3, while Goran Dragic put up 23 points for Miami in Game 4. And Philadelphia went up against Boston, and it was definitely embarrassing. Yes, very embarrassing out there. 4-9. The winner was Boston over Philadelphia. Celtics put up 100-plus points in all 4 of the games. Jason Tatum, 33 points in Game 2. And 76ers coach Brett Brown was fired. And so much for trusting the process, because the process has completely backfired out here. And the Raptors against the Nets. Speaking of sweeps, the Toronto Raptors swept the Brooklyn Nets 4-9. Fred VanVleet scored 30 in Game 1. Norman Powell and Serge Ibaka combined for 56 points in the game, clinching Game 4. Here's some action of that game right there. Of course, you could see Boston had the huge advantage through and through, all in all. Anyways, the Raptors proved that they can win without Kawhi Leonard. And there's some more action right there as they hit the final 2 minutes, and you just saw 6.5 seconds left. The process has failed, my friends. The process has failed. So look at my phone. Today at 4, Milwaukee will play Orlando, looking to advance. And then there's a pivotal Game 5 between OKC and Houston. Whomever wins means they'll be 1 win away from advancing. And then the Lakers looking to put away Portland tonight at 9. Looking at the playoff picture right here on my phone. I don't know if you could see that or not, but right here, Miami's weighing the winner of Milwaukee, Orlando, and Boston will play Toronto. And would you look at that, in the entire Western Conference, nobody has advanced yet. We'll see what happens as this continues. Great season so far in the NBA. Great season so far. NASCAR, we had a doubleheader. Of course, we've seen a lot of doubleheaders due to COVID. It was right there at the Dover Speedway. The Dryden 311 Part 1, Denny Hamlin swept the race and got 6th win of the season. He tied Harvick for most wins in the season. Kurt Busch crashed early on the race and was out. However, there weren't too many cautions otherwise. And the top 3 racers were Toyotas, which was Denny Hamlin, Martin Truex Jr., and Kyle Busch, while Kevin Harvick ended up in 4th place. And then there was a Dryden 311 Part 2 the next day on Sunday. And Kevin Harvick won it. That's right, at the Monster Mile. Why is it called the Monster Mile? Well, simple, because Dover is 1 mile long. Of course, New Hampshire, I believe, is the Magic Mile. But that's not this season, to say the least. And Chase Elliott was out on lap 6 due to a crash. Jimmy Johnson finished in 3rd place this season, or this race, while William Byron finished in 4th place. How about that? How about that? How about that? NASCAR playoff standings coming up right here. And Kevin Harvick's the only racer to have 1,000 points this season. Dan Hamlin's 134 back of Harvick. And he's in 2nd. Of course, doesn't come as a shocker that Harvick is one of Hamlin's 2 because they've both dominated the whole season long. Eric Almirola, Kyle, and Kurt Busch have all clinched playoff spots without, winning a race. And 13 racers have clinched playoff berths. And there are 3 empty spots after the season were to end today. It would be Clint Boyer, Matthew DiBenedetto, and William Byron. However, Jimmy Johnson, who's in 17th place, is 4 points back. That's right, 4 points back for the playoffs. And after next week's race at Daytona, that's the 3rd time they're at Daytona this season, the playoffs will begin. So with that being said, you saw a picture up there a split second ago, but we're going to do a new segment called Tommy's Picks. That's for high school football. And don't worry, I'll do Tommy's Picks for the NFL as well. The rules right there on the left-hand screen. I will pick the scores for the Suburban League teams. I'll also pick 3 other Northeast Ohio games that involve top 25 teams. And of course, those top 25 schools, they are all courtesy of Northeast Ohio High School Sports on Twitter. If you want to follow them, they are at NEOHS Sports right there. The most games I could possibly predict are 18 games, but due to COVID and all the crazy schedule that's going on, I don't think I'll be predicting 18 games this season. There will be a lock of the week and an upset of the week, which, of course, the lock and upset of the week represent 2 points, or if I get it right, and 1 point for the regular games. The most points I could score in 1 week are 20. If there are 18 games, let's think, 16 regular games plus 2. Yep, it is 20. Feel free to play along at home, and you could tell me your picks if you'd like to. But anyways, speaking of picks, there they are on the right side of the screen. Massillon and Washington, that's right. The Tigers against St. Edwards, number 1 against number 2 in Northeast Ohio. Washington has to win that. And Mentor play Medina and the Mentor Cardinals. I think they are going to win against Medina in what will be a GCC game. Avon against Avon Lake. That's going to be my upset of the week. Because you can tell, my friends, you can tell that Avon Lake is lower seeded than Avon. And believe they're on the road too. And meanwhile, for those of you there for here at Wadsworth, you do see that Wadsworth's playing North Royalton. My lock of the week is going to be the Wadsworth Grizzlies. And Stowe against Barberton. My pick is going to be Stowe. Aurora against Brecksville. I got Aurora. Hudson against Nordonia. I have to go with the Hudson Explorers. And of course, soccer's been going on. Of course, something that happened last week as I'm trying to check my phone for some scores. And I believe that I was able to take down Barberton in both soccer and volleyball yesterday. How about that? A doubleheader victory, winning both games. And yes, good job by us. And I'll be talking a lot about high school sports on Highland Horse Sports Network on YouTube, which I will plan to upload videos on soon, as long as if I could go to practice itself. Of course, the virus is really throwing a huge wrench into the schedule, which should not come as a surprise, but still. And of course, for football, hopefully I can get the feed or not feed of all the games, but get all the taping of all the games, and I can recap the games and talk about it. However, will not announce them because I'm in marching band. And marching band's going on this season. That's right. You can't stop the band. The virus cannot stop marching band. Of course, it got canceled today due to inclement weather. But now time for the 5th and final topic today. And it's about Madden NFL 21 review. That's right. You know I do not like this game, but hey, maybe was it good this year? You never know. You never know. Was it good this year? Madden 21 review. It started off with face of the franchise right there on your screen, Rise to Fame. Did I just see Comic Sans a few seconds ago? Dear God, I hope I didn't. Comic Sans. Never use it, unless if you are a kindergarten teacher or using it as a joke. Even so, don't use Comic Sans. But anyways, once again, the Sonic the Hedgehog effect, as I like to call it, is shown. When one good game gets ruined due to cliches and cheesy cutscenes. And there are still 10 colleges you have to pick from. Still can't pick Ohio State, Notre Dame, or Akron. And I said this last year. Let me say this again. But, Akron, I'm a CCP student. I am highly offended. And, of course, the word heart is used God knows how many times out there. Hopefully we could see some action out there for the high school football stuff. But, by the way, all the logos for high school football and all the team names, they're not new. Repeat, not new at all. I know it is 100% ridiculous. There it is, my friends, right there. The high school football I'm playing. But it's not good. Look at that. Same thing that usually has each and every year. Same gameplay. Story's the same and over cliche. They use the word heart 50,000 times. It's a ripoff of Long Shot for Man 18, Man 19, and worse than last year's Face of the Franchise. And I think in my script I misspelled worse. But anyways, there's a little role playing in the game mode. I mean, mainly, or actually there is a lot of role playing, but still there aren't too many options is what I meant to say. You can control everyone in college, control everyone in high school, which of course makes it less of a career mode. And by the way, I've literally just copied and pasted all my complaints about last year's Face of the Franchise and put it right here again. The fact that you could skip a good chunk of the cutscenes goes to show you how terrible this game is. And then there's the Yard, which is a new game mode this year, but it's a boring ripoff of NFL Street and a boring ripoff of 5-on-5 mode for Madden on the Nintendo Wii. That is really cool. The Yard is literally just Madden with a repetitive arcade feel. Yeah, again, the game is not a simulation based. Even when it's at its best, it ain't close to simulation. Double passes are apparently legal in this mode. Laterals can be done as well. And there's a 1-second pass rush and 4-second pass timer. You can get extra points for how you score the touchdown. Only that gameplay is literally just the same thing. And does he have Man 21 on his sleeve, that guy? I really hope he didn't. But anyways, there's no clock and different stims. And while this may sound cool, it really isn't. And it feels like the same thing. Not too many play calls to pick from. If you want a good arcade-like feel, play backyard football, play NFL Street. Those are great games. My thoughts about this, I would yell, but I've yelled way too long enough, and by now, EA Sports is just not going to listen. This is all part of a hot mess once again. Madden didn't even try to make a good game this year. They could have fixed franchise mode. Look at that. Fixing franchise mode. No. We got to do the Yard and Face of the Franchise. There's still not much to do out of this game. Even IGN gave this game a 6 out of 10, which is their lowest rating for Madden since Madden 13 on the PlayStation Vita. You still can't do the coin toss, which is absolutely disappointing. These are memes that I have made about EA Sports and how terrible they are. And if there wasn't a different font, if there wasn't or weren't any roster or the Yard, I would have thought this was Man 20. They're just doing the same thing, which they are. It's just a roster update and, quote, better graphics. But by now, I don't even think they're caring about the graphics. I don't think they're caring about the darn game at all. I mean, Man 21 is Man 9, or Man 21 is Man 20, which is Man 19, which is Man 18, which is Man 17, which is 16, which is 15. All games that have been on the 8th generation of video games. Of course, the 8th generation has been nothing short of probably the worst generation of video games since the video game crash of '83. What's next for EA Sports? They're going to have to bury their video game disc of Madden in the desert, hopefully. Bury the disc in the desert. Oh, man. Fan base is now just 10-year-old boys who don't know better. Ask their parents for Ultimate Team packs because they're not good. And clickbait YouTubers. there's a meme I made. Homer and Krusty the Clown are supposed to be IGN, because IGN's a bunch of clowns that go, hey, hey, kids! Excuse me for that horrible, golly awful impression of Krusty the Clown. Dear God. But anyways, and the mobster right there, or with Fat Tony in the background, and his henchman, that is EA Sports. But anyways, please don't buy this monstrosity. You're better off playing Madden 2003, 2004, 2005, and 2K5, like I always say. And you know what? I would be yelling about this game, but I've just said it so many times. Final score, 0.5 out of 10. 0.5 out of 10. The only thing that saves this from a 0 is that it's Madden and it's football. EA Sports. It's such a shame. You know what's not such a shame? That we'll be back here next week, and there will be more high school football to come up, and more Tommy's picks. We'll see if I can get all my picks right and get a perfect 10 this week. Do I think we will, or do I think I will? No, I won't, but I'm ready. I'm excited. I know you are. I don't know if you'll be going to the games or not, but I hope you stay safe nonetheless, and till then, goodbye. Goodbye.